Hello guys, welcome back to my channel. I'm Cheddar, and today we are completing our Quokka habitat. Today we're going to be doing something a little bit different. I wanted to try out doing a voiceover today and see how you guys like it. With that being said, let's get right into it. In our last video, we were able to get quite a lot done. If you're interested in viewing said video, click the card above to view our current EcoLife playlist. I will warn you that my audio in the first video was definitely not the best, and I'm still learning how to properly edit. If y'all have any tips, please leave them in the comments, it would be greatly appreciated. Now that I'm done with my shameless plug, it is time to lock in. Today we will be focusing on completing the scenery in our Quokka habitat and complete the exterior of their little home. Along with this, we will be completing the backstage area. You are currently viewing a sneak peek into our completed habitat, but soon you will see the steps it took to complete it. Now, to begin with, I took some time off camera to complete our vet research so we could quickly finish our Quokka's home. I also started some mechanic research to expand our construction pieces. Now, as you will soon see, I began by placing down our unlocked enrichment items. Vet research is an integral part of Planet Zoo due to the fact that it keeps our animals happy and keeps protesters away. If you personally have protesters at your zoo, it is likely because your animal welfare is low. To prevent this, be sure to give your animals the necessary environment and amenities that are necessary. Now, soon you will see me modify the terrain in the habitat. When making a habitat, I like to add soil in areas that I believe our animals would regularly walk through over time and time again. This is a simple way to add realism to our zoo. After this, I simply added foliage around the habitat, specifically on the grass areas to create a nice full effect. When placing down trees and foliage, it is important to make sure not to overdo it. For this particular animal, I could add about 70% of coverage, so I wasn't as limited. So, for example, when creating a sandcat habitat, one is much more limited. If you're struggling to create aesthetic zoo habitats, watch videos like mine, or I personally really like to check out Reddit and Pinterest for inspiration. So for now, I'm just gonna sit back and let y'all watch me fill in this area, and I will pop back in very soon. Okay guys, I know you missed me. I'm back. So after I felt satisfied with the habitat, I shifted to working on the exterior of the Quokka house. I will be completely honest in saying I was struggling with the structure of this. I tested out different roof types, wall heights, you name it, I tried it. I ended up just cutting it out of the video because y'all didn't want to watch that. It was a train wreck. So in the end, I decided that the simplest answer was just a flat roof. And honestly, I feel like it turned out really well. And later on, I added some grass on the roof, which y'all will see later. I did that to add some color to the building, and I feel like it made it feel like more than just a box. I also added a border on top of the roof to make it feel less flat. This is really important whenever you're building, especially whenever you're building a gigantic box like I did. And it also didn't just make it look like it was just a flat box with a bunch of grass on top of it. It didn't look sloppy. It didn't look like a pile of grass and soil was about to fall on top of our our guests' heads, you know? And that's one of the key parts of building, thinking about those aspects. And I know that sounds really dumb, but I mean, if you went somewhere and you just saw on top of their building they just had a bunch of dirt with no border, it would look weird. Like, come on. Okay, anyways, so I got tired of looking at the roof, to be completely honest, so I just thought, what's the next thing I could do? Add lights, I guess. I don't know why I went from roof to lights inside. I guess I thought that the Quokkas would get scared of the dark, and honestly, valid. And I do still sleep with a nightlight at 21. Don't judge me. Okay, anyways, so while I was placing down these lights, especially the ceiling lights, I literally took 10,000 years to do them. Pro tip number 10,000, it's not that deep. The only time I'm ever gonna look at this room is whenever I'm doing some cinematic shot. It's okay if your stuff isn't perfectly lined up. Don't be like me. Don't waste your time. Okay, anyways, so the boards I'm currently putting up are called Education Board Walls. They are made by Sherlockian Gamer. If you guys are interested in downloading them, they are on the Steam Workshop. So from here, I actually used wall trim to make a little flower bed area, and I threw in some grass just so there was like a base. You know the vibe. Anyways, from here I went absolutely crazy with grass on the roof. I'm gonna be so real in saying that I was so over this roof by the time I did this. If you guys have any suggestions for like some foliage you want to see up there, like leave it in the comments. I'm debating between like a little flower moment or just doing a flower moment with some foliage to make it fancy. Y'all just let me know your thoughts. So from here I wanted to do like a nice little wallpaper. I actually never used the wallpaper, so I thought I would try something new. The wall I'm putting this on will actually be a part of the entrance area. In the next episode, we'll be building that and potentially our gift shop as well. So after I finished doing the wallpaper, I started adding wall trim literally everywhere to add some type of dimension to our little box we got going on. Honestly, I have nothing of value to say because, it's wall trim. So I'm just gonna let y'all listen to the little click clacky sounds, and I'll be back in a bit. Okay, so I got bored of placing the wall trim and I just started adding flowers to our viewing area, like around the education boards. In case you guys couldn't tell, I'm very scattered with my building process, but It does keep me engaged. If I look at something for too long, then it just becomes a blur, and it's simply just a concept to me. It doesn't exist. Just as a tip when like placing your foliage around a habitat, make sure it doesn't cross over your null barrier. You won't believe what I did. I made it cross over the null barrier. So if it does, then it will count as more coverage for your animals. So basically they'll be sad. Don't make them sad. Just don't do what I did. Anyways, so after I finished the area around the education boards, I added more flowers between the wooden log barrier and the staff pathway. It just looked really bare over there and it felt like it was missing something. 9 times out of 10, if I see an area that I feel like it just looks gross, I just add a bunch of plants, and honestly that works for me. That's my tip. Just add plants. I'm very helpful. So after I finished that little sidewall area, I came back over to our little flower bed and I threw a bunch of flowers in there, and I feel like it looks so cute. And after that, I started working on the wall trim once again. So like I said earlier, there's nothing of substance I can add to me putting down the wall trim, so I'm just gonna let y'all listen to the click-clacky sound again. Okay, enjoy. Okay, so from here, I felt like we needed more dimension to our box, so let's be so real. I just added another box. I'm honestly so glad I took the time to do this because it made the back of the building look 10 times better. And then once I get to the roofing, you'll see that I also added grass on top of that so it would match the roofing that I did prior. And I also added some trim to make it feel as if it was actually a part of the building we already have. So this second doorway also allows for our staff to access the Quokka habitat in 2 different ways, which will hopefully lead to less walking time for our staff. Okay, for now, I'm just gonna let y'all sit back and listen to the little click-clacky sounds until I come back to share some exciting news. Okay guys, it's time to welcome our new addition. This is Bonseal, our new baby Quokka. And with that, I'd like to give a shout out to Bonseal for leaving a comment down below. If you would like to name a future animal or a staff member, leave your request down in the comments. So, with life comes death. Sadly, we've lost Tidum. Let's all have a moment of silence for our little guy. Okay, thank you everyone for joining me in a moment of silence. While Bonseal may now be fatherless, we will soon get a replacement father for him. I'd like to note that I can make that joke since I am motherless, okay? Anyways, let's talk about the build. So I am currently working on the shelf for our backstage area. This is going to hold all of the food that our Quokkas eat so that it's easily accessible to the staff. If you have a vision in your head for a certain item you want that we don't have in game, I promise you, if you just try to make it, you will be able to. Because while I was trying to figure out how to build this, I was really unsure, but I just went for it, and honestly, I really liked the design more than any of the designs I found on the Steam Workshop. And as you guys can tell, each of these pieces are individual, which really helped me create something unique. Making custom pieces can also bring a lot of detail to your game. Okay, and for now, I'm just gonna let you guys sit back and watch the time lapse. Thank you guys so much for staying tuned till the end of the video. Next episode, we're going to be building our entrance as well as our gift shop. If you guys have any suggestions, leave them in the comments below. If you'd like to name one of our future Quokkas, staff, or potentially a future animal, leave that down below as well. And while you're down there, hit that like button. Thank you guys once again for watching, and I'll see you in the next episode. Bye guys!